Morning. Welcome to the Red Dragon's Lair. Today we're going to be interviewing Tango the Dragon. Yes, we're going to interview a dragon. Actually, not really interview, but we're going to explain all about Tango the bearded dragon that I own. Hence why I started this channel, because I was going to do mostly reptile videos, but then I got into a lot of other things, and I think it's just cool to do daily things about my life in general, because I do try to lead an interesting life, although sometimes it can be a bit boring. But anywho, I would like you all to meet Tango. This is Tango. He is a citrus bearded dragon, and he doesn't know what to make of you all yet, but he is saying hi. What is that? So, Tango, when I first rescued him, because I do rescue these, he was really, really obese. And a lot of people think that a fat dragon, bearded dragon, I'm sorry, is a healthy thing, but it's not. When they suffer from obesity, believe me, they can develop heart conditions and all the problems that a lot of us humans can, with the exception of some of our diseases that they can't. But they have a whole list of their own diseases that they can get from being obese, and that would take another whole video. But anywho, Tango here, he likes a really warm climate, and a lot of people think that these make great beginner pets. Let me kill that idea for you right now. These are far from a beginner pet. They are affectionate, they are laid back, but they're not as easy to care for as you might think. The sheer maintenance required, the diet, and everything you have to follow for these guys, even temperature-specific environments, it can be very, very tasking. I mean, well, he wants to ride up. They are laid back, but their enclosures, you can't just throw them in an aquarium and forget about them. A lot of people think, oh, look, it's cool, a new pet. Yeah, but you know what? These dragons require UVB lighting, and you can't just throw a UVB light on top of an aquarium and expect that to work. You actually need to know its output. I have a solar meter, which is a very expensive unit, and it actually measures the UVB index. When your bulbs are going bad, they're expensive. They don't put out the UVB that they're supposed to put out. The little CFL bulbs, don't waste your money on them. Don't, unless you have an enclosure this small, which you're not going to house one of these. Minimum, over here in America, unless you have a vivarium built, 75-gallon aquarium or bigger, or if possible a custom enclosure, because they're going to need a heat lamp. These are mostly desert dwelling animals, and what they do is they bask in the sun, they get their temperatures up, and then when they get too warm, they'll go crawl in a hole or a cave, a little burrow, and get out of the sun. What are you doing? So these, I'll get into their diet and everything in a bit, but these guys, they are lazy. Let's face it, they do next to nothing. Although they do make funny faces at us sometimes when they're trying to tell us stuff. Yeah, right now he's staring at the cat. But anywho, these guys like it hot, okay? One side of their enclosure should be at least anywhere from 95 to 110 That's how hot they like it. So you're talking expensive sun lamp bulbs, and you gotta have a cool side, because if they get overheated, they need to go to the other side of their enclosure into the shade and cool down. Okay? So there's that. I mean, that's a pretty big expense. The electric bills, everything that... Oh man, his nails are sharp. But the enclosure, once you get your equipment and you get everything set up, then it gets a little bit easier. But as far as their diet goes, a lot of people don't know exactly what these eat, but they are omnivores, which means they eat a wide variety of fruits, vegetables, and insects. Tons of insects. Insects that some people find really creepy. For example, dubia roaches. I don't know if y'all can see these or not, but these are dubia roaches. Okay? Yeah, that might creep some of you out, but these guys love them. They're very nutritious. They hold a lot of moisture for these guys. And in order to give these guys their proper hydration, you don't want to give them a bath. Giving them a bath does nothing for them because they have waterproof skin. They're not going to absorb moisture. The only thing it's going to help with is if he takes a drink while he's in a bath. Or if they're shedding and the skin's becoming real hard and crusty and you want to help soften it up some. That's the only reason to give them a bath, or if they get real messy and dirty, you can clean them up. But that's not how they're going to get hydrated. In fact, that actually dehydrates them, because as they swim and they work their insides, they're going to move their bowels in the bath. And if it's not properly digested and it doesn't digest on its own and you're forcing them to do that, that is in turn specifically going to dehydrate them. So you may think, oh, water, it's going to help. No. Moist foods, that's the best way to hydrate these. And, come here, Tango. Come here. Hang on. So the dubia roaches, I actually raise them and I sell them, but a lot of people, they panic right away thinking roaches and they confuse them with a common household cockroach. Far different species. These ones cannot live in United States climate very long, okay? It gets too cold. In the wintertime, even if they do escape your enclosure, they're not going to infest your house like the regular cockroach would. These things are going to die. These need at least 95-degree temperature or higher to survive in. If it's not at least 95 in their enclosure, they're going to die. And he's looking. He wants some. We'll see if he'll try to eat for you. And as far as the insects go, we also have super Morio worms, which look like giant mealworms. Here, take the lid off of that one and show you. They look like giant mealworms, but they're much bigger. Now, these guys love these things. However, these things you don't want to just keep feeding and feeding them, because these are very high in fat. Okay, now they are, if you have a malnutrition dragon or something to that effect, yeah, then you can. Here, you want some? You want some? No? Want to go hide? Okay, go hide. So anyhow, they're very high in fat. They don't really have a lot of calcium, which brings to mind calcium supplements for these guys. You want to feed them calcium supplements with vitamin D3 since they are deficient. And the calcium, it comes in several different forms. I mean, I've tried it all. Liquid, powder. I like the powder the best because what you do is sprinkle some of the powder in the container, shake it up, it sticks to their bugs, and then if you don't want bit, you use a pair of forceps, feed them their bugs by hand, or put them in a dish that they can climb over and go and eat all they like. So that's how they get their calcium. You don't have to sprinkle their vegetables, and in fact they eat a lot of greens, like leafy greens, and to that effect, broccoli, kale's a no-no. Your doctor will even tell you, if you're on a blood thinner or something like that, do not eat broccoli. It will thicken the blood, and it also has calcium blockers in it. Oh, okay. He's going to go exploring. We'll take care of him later. He can't get into any trouble over there unless he decides to jump down, in which case I'm running off frame to go catch him. But anyhow, the calcium blockers, not good. Broccoli, kale, not good. But green peppers, on occasion, you don't, I mean, peppers are okay. You don't want to give him hot peppers because that would be just mean. And I don't think he would appreciate that much. But anywho, collard greens is very good. Grape leaves, they're all high in calcium. You know, you can give them squash, any types of squash, butternut squash, spaghetti squash, acorn squash. I like using a potato peeler and skinning them. That way they're nice and chewy for them. Kind of like moist potato chips, and they love them. So their diet consists of a lot of different things. You can research online. I mean, there's such an extensive list of the things you can and cannot feed them. It is posted online. I'm not going to do an entire video on that. Unless you guys want me to mention something in the comments, I'll be happy to do that. Anywho, as far as raising the roaches, I can do a whole nother video on that. But getting back to them, like I said before, they're not going to infest your house. They're very clean. They're not dirty like the regular cockroaches. You can actually hold them. They don't hurt you. They don't bite you. They will run. But this is a female cockroach because she does not have wings. Yeah, the males actually have wings. So this little lady here is just wondering what in the world's going on. I don't know if you can see her too clearly. But they're pretty calm, docile. They don't really do much. People sometimes raise these as pets. I also do raise Madagascar hissing cockroaches, which could be a whole nother video, because those ones are really unique. And they're much larger than this. This is a full-grown adult female. I'm going to let her go back inside. And there is a male in here that I do want to show you. See, this one actually has wings. And that's how we distinguish whether they are male or female. Only in the dubia roach species. Whoop, get back here. So he got a little excited and wanted to jump and run. See, they get skittish, but he landed right in the container. That's alright, he can stay there now. Anywho, I wanted to introduce you all to Tango, and I hope you liked them. And that's pretty much all I'm going to ramble on for tonight. But this guy here is definitely one of my favorites. And I do have 4 different bearded dragons. I do have an Australian frilled dragon. I do have a Chinese water dragon. I can do videos on all of these. If you would like to see that, just let me know. And don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and Tango would greatly appreciate it. He would greatly appreciate it. He went to Buggy? You want to Buggy? Nope, he wants down. He wants down. He wants to run. Okay, Tango. You want to do the sign off? You want to do the sign off? You want to tell everybody goodbye? He says goodbye. Like my channel. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.